In this example, we are going to solve linear inequalities in one variable. Now, it's pretty much the same procedure you normally do, with one exception. When you have inequalities, now remember, inequalities would be greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. When you have inequalities, the one thing that changes is when you are multiplying or dividing both sides of the inequality by a negative, then you reverse the direction of the inequality. Okay, so anytime you multiply or divide by a negative, you flip the sign. That's what you need to remember. So let's try a couple. This says solve and graph the solution set of 4x minus 7 is greater than or equal to 5. Now, if this just said 4x minus 7 is equal to 5, we would solve it and get one answer. But because we're dealing with a linear inequality, our answer set's actually going to be a bunch of numbers that would make this true. Okay, so let's pretend it was an equal to. If it was an equal to, the first thing I would do would be add 7 to both sides. So that's what they did here. Then we're left with the 7's cancel. We get 4x is greater than or equal to 5 plus 7 is 12. Now to get the x by itself, they multiply by 4. We are going to divide both sides by 4. Okay, so over here we get x is greater than or equal to 12 divided by 4 is 3. Now I don't have to flip the sign because I didn't divide by a negative 4. I divided by a positive 4. Okay, let's graph this. So it has an equal to, so we are going to close that dot at 3. And then we're going to follow the arrow, and the arrow goes to the right. So we would shade all the way to the right. Now what that tells me is that every number, just can't get it to draw. So every number to the right makes that a true statement. 3 works because it's a closed dot. That'd make it equal to 5. And every other number to the right makes that true. Let's do another one. On this one, we have 1/3 x is less than 5. So I need to get rid of that 1/3. Now, typically, you learn with fractions, to get it to cancel out, you multiply by the reciprocal. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply both sides of this fraction by 3/1. Okay? Now, if this had been 2/3 here, I would multiply by 3/2. You flip the fraction. Okay? So that's what they did right here. 3/1 is the same thing as 3. So what happens is this fraction cancels out here. That cancels. And I end up with x equals 15. Or, I'm sorry, x is less than 15. Let me get that correct. So for this one, I'm going to put an open dot at 15 because I don't have an equal to there. Okay? If I had an equal to, it would be a closed dot. I'm going to put an open dot at 15. I'm going to follow the arrow, and I'm going to shade everything to the left here. And all of those numbers would make that statement true.